Welcome to This Explainer. Look, if you live in Florida, you already know the deal. The weather is absolutely gorgeous, right? But man, it is also completely relentless on your property. Today, we're diving into the extreme stresses our climate puts on your roof, breaking down exactly what's happening right above your ceiling, and most importantly, how to protect your biggest investment.
So let me ask you something. Is your roof hiding a costly secret right now? You might look up from your driveway, see a nice, flat, intact surface, and think, hey, my roof is totally fine. But we're going to uncover the invisible rot, the hidden moisture, and the mold that could literally be multiplying beneath the surface at this exact second. Because honestly, so much roof damage is completely invisible to the untrained eye until it's way too late.
Let's jump right into Section 1, the Florida weather threat.
Think about the absolute punishment your roof takes every single day. It's basically a perfect storm of damage up there. First, it's just baking under this relentless, intense UV sun, which literally cooks the flexibility right out of the materials. Then, afternoon thunderstorms from May to October hammer your house with sideways, wind-driven rain that is actively searching for any tiny vulnerable gap it can find. And if you live near a body of water, you've got that lake effect, this localized, super high humidity that just turbocharges algae growth. Actually, you know those ugly black streaks you sometimes see on roofs? Those aren't dirt. Those are actual algae colonies feeding on the limestone filler in the shingles, slowly eating away at the protective coating. Wild, right?
Now, besides the obvious rain and sun, there's this completely invisible stress factor called thermal cycling. Think about it. A roof in Florida can easily hit scorching, fry-and-egg temperatures on a 90-degree afternoon and then rapidly cool all the way down to 70 degrees at night. This daily, constant expansion and contraction is like a giant invisible crowbar prying your roof apart piece by piece. Over time, it works fasteners loose and cracks the crucial sealants around your vents and chimneys. It's essentially a slow-motion dismantling of your home's armor. Which brings us to Section 2, Hidden Dangers Above You. Here's the kicker. A small leak in a dry climate like Arizona? Not a huge deal. A tiny drop of water might just evaporate. But in Florida's intense humidity, that's a whole different ballgame. Trapped moisture here just does not dry out. Within days, it turns your warm, dark attic into a literal mold factory. It accelerates wood rot in your roof's decking and framing, compromising the actual structural integrity of your home long before a water stain ever bothers to show up on your living room ceiling. We call this the iceberg effect of roof damage. Up on the surface, you might just notice a couple of asphalt granules washing out into your gutter after a storm, or maybe those black algae streaks we just talked about. But underneath? Oh man, you could be dealing with saturated plywood decking, rotting framing, and these sneaky hidden traveling leaks where water is just running quietly along your rafters. What you see on the outside is truly just the tip of the iceberg compared to the catastrophic rot that could be happening underneath. So moving on to Section 3, repair versus replacement. Okay, deep breath. Not every single issue means you need to tear off the whole roof. Sometimes it really is just a targeted repair. An isolated flashing failure around a vent pipe or a small chimney leak. Fixing those can easily buy you years of extra life. But there is a tipping point. When you start seeing widespread granule loss, shingles that are super brittle and visibly curling up at the edges, or if you're battling multiple leak points across the house, yeah, that means the system as a whole has failed, and it's time for a full replacement. And when you're weighing that decision, keep this magic number in mind. 40%. This is your golden rule. When the estimated cost of constantly patching and repairing your failing roof starts creeping up to 40% of what a brand new roof would cost, making the investment in a full replacement is hands down the financially smart move. You got to stop throwing good money after bad, right? Plus, you finally get that peace of mind back. Let's look at the hard data for material lifespans in our intense, humid climate. Asphalt shingles, they're super popular, sure, but under that brutal Florida sun, you're realistically looking at a solid 15 to 30 years before UV degradation totally takes its toll. If you're playing the long game, though, upgrading to metal roofing pushes that lifespan all the way up to 40 to 70 years. And if you go with concrete or clay tile, those can protect your home for half a century or more, easily shrugging off heavy rain and humidity without rotting or breaking down. It's a huge difference. All right, let's talk about the big one. Section 4, surviving hurricane force winds. 140. Remember this number because it is absolutely critical. Hillsborough County building codes strictly demand that your roof is rated to withstand 140 mile-per-hour wind gusts.
The scary part is a lot of older homes in established neighborhoods have roofs that were put on way before these strict standards even existed, and that leaves them highly vulnerable to modern storm patterns.
Hitting that 140-mile-per-hour standard is no joke. You can't just slap some shingles on some wood and call it a day. It requires highly specific engineering. For example, look at the 6 fasteners per shingle. This is vital because wind uplift really concentrates at the edges of the roof, so this specifically prevents edge lifting. Next up, ditch the old felt paper. You absolutely need synthetic, tear-resistant underlayment. And check out that third point, self-adhering modified bitumen in the valleys. The valleys of your roof channel a massive amount of water during a storm, and this special membrane seals flawlessly around the fasteners to stop wind-driven rain dead in its tracks. Finish it off with a calculated net-free area for proper attic ventilation, and you prevent the heat buildup that literally bakes shingles from the inside out. Okay, so how does this actually get done? Section 5, the roof replacement process. Let's use Crestline's standard approach as a really straightforward example. It is a clean, hyper-organized 3-step process. Step 1 isn't just a quick visual sweep. It's a deep diagnostic inspection using advanced moisture meters and thermal cameras to hunt down that hidden rot in your decking. Step 2 is the actual installation. They tear everything off, right down to the bare wood, to guarantee no hidden damage gets left behind, and then execute a strict 140-mile-per-hour code-compliant build. And finally, step 3 is the cleanup, and I mean a comprehensive magnetic sweep of your entire yard so there are absolutely no stray nails hiding in the grass, just waiting for your car tires or worse, your bare feet.
As one expert brilliantly puts it, we find the real problem, not just the obvious symptoms. This right here is exactly why you need insanely thorough documentation, especially when it comes to insurance claims. Listen, when a major storm rolls through, insurance adjusters get incredibly overwhelmed, and they very often miss the hidden underlayment or decking damage because, well, they're mostly just looking at surface symptoms. True professionals dig deep to uncover that hidden damage and document it meticulously with photos and actual moisture readings. That way, you get the fair settlement you actually deserve to properly fix your home. Because at the end of the day, Florida weather is utterly unforgiving, and the cost of waiting is almost always way higher than the cost of prevention. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a crucial question to ask yourself before the next storm season hits. Will your roof survive the next major storm, or is it time to finally uncover what's hiding up there?